Welcome back to another episode of Pulpit to the Pew. I'm your host, Brother Sean Brumfield. And today, believe it or not, we have a full crew here today. I got Brother Ryan Brown with me.
Hey, everybody.
Brother Jonathan Mitchell.
What's going on?
And Brother Jared Carlisle.
Hey.
What's it doing, guys?
What's it doing?
I don't know. I was going to say, how's it doing? But
Well,
it didn't.
you tell us
work
what's it
that
doing,
way.
man.
Yeah.
What's it doing right now is my brain cells are not working the way that they should.
You've been hanging out with me too long.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. How's it going? That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
It's going good, yeah.
Yeah.
Any new life changes for anybody that's not been here for a month or so?
Don't look at me. I've been on the last couple episodes.
I'm good.
No changes?
Not really. No, nothing. I've just been hanging out. A lot of church, a lot of revivals,
Oh, yeah, I know about that.
a lot of youth camps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is that time of year. Of course, now we're at the end of it, I think.
Yeah,
Then-
now
now
the
we're
school's
getting into
starting.
camp meeting time for a lot of people.
Camp meeting, harvest parties.
Homecoming.
October, fall festival
Oh,
stuff.
I love the fall. My favorite season, favorite time of year.
It's my favorite as well.
Give me
I
a
love
nice
it.
deep winter. I want all the snow and ice.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Really?
I love snow, man.
Okay, I don't
I
mind
love
snow.
cold. I love being cold.
I don't
Yeah.
mind snow. I don't like ice.
Ice is debatable for me too, but snow's good.
I'm a fall guy. That's what I like as far as seasons
fall
go.
guy.
That's, way past after my adulthood when all that stuff came out. The fall guy. I was never part of any of that stuff. You're talking about a game, ain't it? Ain't that what that is?
Oh, the Fall Guys game?
Oh,
No,
fall guy. Yeah,
no.
that is a game.
That's not what we were talking about, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't get it. See,
I
I thought they were.
I
talking
was
about
just
the game.
laughing at the
Yeah.
play on words
Yeah.
because everybody has to have a fall guy.
Yeah.
It's like an scapegoat.
well, that's right. I've got big
And a
shoulders.
scapegoat or a scapegoat?
A scapegoat?
Whatever.
Oh, you've never heard of scapegoat?
No.
He said escape.
No, I said escape.
I think he meant a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't say a, he said
Okay.
A-E-I-O-U.
I just thought about it. I was like, what? Is this the goat you grab when you're bailing out of a plane because it's got the parachute?
It's a scapegoat.
A scapegoat.
Hey,
I've got
that's
broad
right.
shoulders. It's good.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I'm excited for the weather change. This summer's been really weird though, because we've gotten so like all of us have. Well, you live in Indiana, but I'm talking mostly to the Ohio guys. We've lived in Ohio all of our lives. I don't remember a time where we got this much rain. It feels like we got so much rain at the beginning. Now we're a little bit of a dry spell now, but we got so much rain and it was so like humid.
That's been all over, though. I mean, you had all the floods. It seemed like there for a while, almost every week, there was a new place that was flooding, I think. What's crazy is how hot it's been. I was reading this the other day because it has been pretty hot, pretty humid, which it's summertime. It's going to be that way. But Ohio, I think Indiana, and there might have been one or two other states right there in that grouping are the only ones that, as of yet, have not recorded a 100-degree plus day.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
we've stayed in the 80s to the 90s, but if it gets to the 80s, it's like one of those deals which I've never understood. This it's 89 degrees, but it feels like it's 96. Well, if it feels like it's 96, then it's 96 degrees to me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
heat
with
X
the
never
humidity.
has made
Yeah.
that much sense to me because
I do know that this year, unlike the past 3 or 4 years, we haven't had a drought warning, where you can't, a burn ban. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. We've been wet enough this summer that we haven't needed to put that out there. Because sometimes during summer when we clean up a lot of brush and stuff around the
Yeah.
garden, or fallen tree limbs or whatever, that we've got stocked up from all
No, the only one I can
wetter
think of
seasons.
is that they had one right as we were transitioning from winter into spring because it was those first couple days of spring were super dry and
Yeah.
everything was
But for summertime, though,
Yeah,
it's
summertime's been-
typical. It's normal to go kind of right into the August time and not be able to burn anything.
no red
I
flags.
think every July and August for the past couple of years, it's been a burn ban for us. At least 2 months of nothing, don't light anything, even tiki torch and stuff like that. In Harrison, where we live at, yeah, they just, if you light anything at all, they call the police on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those videos that I had this one where it was like a red flag day And this lady was across the street from the fire department. She was like, I don't know, she's like 75 or 80. She's like burning trash on her sidewalk. And what's so funny is like,
terrible.
you know, it's a firefighter taking a video of it, sitting there in this truck, being like, we're ready. Like, they're not going to ride her up because she's so old, but like, you know, they're just like, we're just waiting.
Yeah.
So I have a random thing. I just thought of something. Have you guys heard of First Amendment auditors?
Yes. The people that walk around with cameras trying to get a reaction from people.
Yes, I had an experience with one.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
nice.
So I work at a bank. I didn't experience as in I go and talk to the guy, but it happened this week. Literally, there was a guy outside of the bank, had a tripod with a camera and his iPhone, and was filming and actively taking pictures of our vault inside. He's on the public sidewalk, and he was taking pictures and videotaping me as I was going about my business in the bank. And I was like, oh my goodness, these people are real. And I called our bank security team, and they're like, there's nothing you can do, is just don't engage with him. Don't go talk to him because he's just trying to go viral and get clips. But he's like, he's well within his rights. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just letting everybody know he's literally filming inside. Like the way our teller line sets up, the vault door is right next to the teller line, and you can go in and you can see like safety deposit boxes and stuff like that. But it's our vault, and we carry cash if we have an excess of cash into the vault or whatever. And he was literally filming it. It was so weird. I was like, I've seen the shorts and the YouTube, but I was like, I didn't know these guys were actually like real. So, and I had called my regional, and he had been to like 3 other Fifth Third banks already. He was making rounds trying to get people to react. It's absolutely crazy. I just didn't know if you guys had any experience with that or not.
I have seen people try to do that, but I think it's ridiculous that they're trying to provoke these people to get a reaction so that they could go viral.
Well, I mean, we're living in a social networking age. Like, who would have thought that growing up, if people asked me what I wanted to do, I would come up with like, yeah, I'm going to be in construction. I'm going to work with electricity, or I'm going to be a computer programmer, which computers were kind of relatively a newer thing even when I was coming up. But something programming, something electrical, something like that. But now my kids, if you ask them, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? One of them's, I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
You know, because these guys are like millionaires. All it takes is one viral hit, man, and you can take off.
Yeah. I remember being in high school, my cousin was always like, I want to be a streamer, this and that. And like, it was starting to get popular as far as making it a career, but it still wasn't something that anybody could do, which right now, I mean, anybody can do it. I mean, it's
Right.
They say it's not hard if you're like committed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like starting a podcast. You just got to keep doing it. But I think it's crazy that it's attainable for people that they can do that.
Yeah.
You know, that they can literally do what they dream to do. I mean, and not have to like actually go have a 9-to-5 job.
Hey, just for on that note, Sean went viral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went viral.
Yeah. Under the church.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. We had him doing the happy dance song, or we had the happy dance song playing. Wasn't it the happy dance song?
Was that when you were in the like big
Yeah.
blue
Like,
suit?
we're going to greet you
Yeah.
and
The
shake
big
your hand.
blue suit. Is that a fat
I said
joke?
baby. I said baby blue
Oh,
suit.
okay.
I
Okay.
heard big blue suit.
I
too.
heard
I said
blue.
baby blue. I need to enunciate. I said baby blue. Baby blue
I was like,
suit.
Yeah.
And that's
Good
when he
Lord.
that's when he was acting like he was shaking everybody's
Yeah,
hand.
I think the Sister Gina did it, and she was like, "It's your
We were
pastor
trending.
making you like your extrovert, pastor making you your introvert
Yeah, something
people
to that
like
nature.
uncomfortable or something."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it got up to like
It
was like 600,000
it went viral.
Wow.
likes and stuff. Yeah,
There was a time where you were, if you were close, if you had the church subscribed, there was a time that would be the only clip that you would see pop up
Yeah.
from the church was him with him doing his shaking and stuff like that. It was pretty funny. I
All I
had to
gotta
go
say,
through and clean up a lot of comments.
if
so
you
I
do
will
go
tell you
viral,
that.
listen,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
thick skin.
hate.
Have thick skin, especially when it's church related.
Well, and then what's so funny is like you get people who are like serious and like, well, why would anybody be feeling comfortable at church? And then like, but then you got people who go too far with it and get that it's a joke and are like, I think one of the ones that I thought was hilarious was they were like major Chris Farley vibes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I tried
I'll
to
take
clean
it.
up. I tried to clean up some of those just because it is a church deal, but the whole clip of the van down by the river thing,
Yeah.
they would show those gifts with that guy, you know.
To be fair, the suit looked like it.
Yeah.
It looked like a Chris Farley suit.
Yeah.
To be fair,
that is hilarious.
That was I like doing that kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm crazy, but I mean I don't care to do the crazy like get people's attentions. Like when it comes to VBS, I love signing up to do like the fun skits and all that stuff.
Well, when you did it at Lord of Glory a year or so ago, or over a year now, you did a really good job as the team leader and stuff.
Dude, at Lord of Glory last year, I lost my voice day one, and I did that whole like hype, like I sounded like Mickey Mouse, like let's go blue team, you know. Like
You did a fantastic
I was like,
job.
my throat, I was just dying, dude. I that kind of stuff is so much fun, like just
oh yeah,
being able to be crazy and try to draw people in, you know, for that kind of stuff. Like I especially kids, like kids
Yeah.
eat that stuff up.
I have
know?
I have been part of like vacation Bible schools and stuff where it seemed like the adults were the ones that had
The most
more fun. I will tell you that when Dad took Sharonville, and he had been there, I don't know how long he had been there, but we got was it brother Johnston maybe would have been it, but anyway we
Probably.
got it was him, it was somebody, I think it was Brother Johnston, but anyway it was the very first VBS that Dad did as the pastor there at Sharonville, and Brother Jim Thomas was still alive, and I got more fun out of that
Yeah.
because of Brother Jim Thomas than anything else. Like that guy, he was part of we all got stuck behind the curtain and we were the puppets, you know, and we're right. So we
craziness.
got the little wave signs and we're doing this and we got all the puppets doing all their stuff or whatever. Brother Jim, from laughing so hard, just about took the whole curtain down. He couldn't keep his puppet in the air because he was, I mean, like tears were streaming. This guy had a sense of humor anyway, but I've never seen him react that way. But because he was doing it, he was having more fun than the kids
Yeah.
were. And we wasn't even seeing what was going on the other side because we were behind the curtain, but I was rolling because he was rolling, you know, it's hilarious. I
Well,
love that kind of stuff.
I like the impressions that you can leave on kids like that. Cause I
Yeah.
did it with Sister Colleen Faust one time.
Yeah.
And I think I played like a ranger or somebody like that. I can't remember.
I thought you were a construction guy. 'Cause don't I have that picture on my?
No, that was with Brother Mark White.
Okay. All
And
right.
but with her, it was like some type of ranger, and like I came and played some goofy character, and she gave me a water gun, and I ran in here, and Jared might remember this. I know he wasn't there, but I'm sure he heard the story. But I came in, I started squirting all the kids with these water guns in the middle of the sanctuary, just shooting them. And they were all going wild. And I think Liam went home and he's told Brother Jared, he goes, Brother Sean shot me with a water gun. Like I think he was like hurt that I did it to him like that. He couldn't believe I hit him with it.
In that one, Sister Colleen had me dress up like the evil guy that was taking the scripture
Yes.
away. Remember?
Yeah.
Dude, those kids attacked me,
Yeah.
man. Because I had to go between, and I'd had to come from different directions, so they didn't know. Because I was
Yeah.
the enemy that was attacking.
Was
them
it like
from all
Mr.
sides
Sin or
whatever.
something
Yeah,
like
Mr.
that?
Sin.
Yeah.
And she was trying to get them to learn the memory verse.
Yeah.
And so she had it up there, and then I would come in and I would say, you're not going to remember it now. And I'd take one of the words off and whatever. Like I was trying to steal the word of God from them. And so at first the kids were like, and they couldn't believe that I did it. And I got away with it. By the third time, like they grabbed a hold. I had like this cloak that was tied onto my neck.
Yeah.
And so like I'm walking my own kids and they knew it was me. The other kids, like they're grabbing the cloak and
Oh,
like,
they did because it was you.
boneless, they would grab the cloak and drop. So like I'm trying to talk and going, it was something. It was pretty fun. Like I said, that kind of stuff is awesome.
So I've got to say, puppets are a lost art.
They are.
In
Oh,
Sunday
yeah.
school, like we had like kids' days in Sunday school some days, where instead of doing a Sunday school class, we would just go all service long. So the teaching and the preaching and have a children's church. And it was like once every month or something like that. My uncles built my mom a stage for like that. It was just like 3 plywood panels with a curtain on top and like a box cut out. And she went out and bought a bunch of different puppets. And the only one I really remember, and maybe if mom listens to this later, she can correct me, but I think they called it like Iago, like kind of like the parrot from Aladdin.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But it was a buzzard, a bright red and black buzzard, right? And it was a puppet. And man, we loved that thing. We kept it for years after that. And me and Steven would play with it, and he would keep it. Steven kept it in his room. And it was just like, it was such a memory to us that, and we loved it. We'd sit there and wide-eyed, and we'd be so captivated by the story mom was telling. It'd be like mom, my Aunt Margaret, back behind the curtain telling a story, and she had a bunch of other puppets. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid thinking that's the best thing, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. The puppet stuff in church, especially for children's church, it truly, as an older individual, or when you get in that teenage years where you're just too cool for everything, you start sitting there and you're like, that's child stuff or whatever. But if you can get individuals that actually know how to do the puppets, and that know how to actually, because there is a way that you can do it that doesn't look crazy. There is a little bit of talent, I guess you would say, that goes with it. I don't know, because you got to have your timing and stuff like that. Plus, you've got to have a story that engages the kids. But if you've got all of that, I mean, it leaves.
You can be compelling without being over the top.
Yeah, and
for sure.
But I think the reason that it's a dying thing is, for one, when we were kids, like, the puppets were so cheap. You know, for a nice puppet, you may spend $100 or whatever, but it was something that would last you a long time. But now, dude, you trying to get a puppet now, it's like $300-$400.
Some of my favorite puppet shows, even as an adult, have been those pool noodle ones where you go like pool noodles and like the googly eyes, and you get like mops and cut the tassels off the mops and glue them on and make hair. Dude, some of those things are so creative.
I gotta tell you, the one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen or experienced was we went to Union Road for their light up. They do like a light up thing, and I don't know if it was like the fall or
it's the fall deal,
time.
and I can't remember what it's called.
It's like October. It's like Light Up Union Road or something like that. I can't remember, but it's like all these like black lights and stuff, and like these people come out and like they're like black clothes, but they've got like neon tape on them that depict them as a different character. And like when they put it on there, like they put on like some music, and like they'll get in with the music and go with it and stuff, and
it's like
kind
puppets,
of play dance, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's so cool because, for one, I've never seen anything like that before. It was just like so distinct and unique that I loved it, and the kids absolutely fell in love with it.
Brother Johnston does a fantastic job. So he's who I have experienced doing the puppet shows and the light shows with our ventriloquist, like with our kids crusades that we've done. We called them Kid Crusades. Yeah. After we had done VBS, but we did the Kids Crusades with him, and the way he gets the church involved, and it takes a lot of practice.
Yes. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of timing that goes into it, and like you were talking about, like the puppet is a lost art, ventriloquist, and like people that can do that and do it really well. Like it's so impressive to me how they can be so clear and do different inflections with their voice while not moving their mouth. I think it's so impressive and so cool, and being able to work the puppet. It's
Wait, you mean the puppets don't talk?
No.
You just ruined his
thanks.
for him.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
You know what's even cooler than that is the people who think they're really good and they're not.
Yeah.
And they're like,
you guys can't see my lips move at all. Not at all.
They just always have the puppet in front of their face.
Well, they're like, here, I can do this while drinking water, and the whole time I'm like,
yeah. I will say though, I agree with you. The ventriloquism. Stuff, of course, I think it's just creepy for those type of dolls. Like, I grew up in the My Buddy era, okay? and My Buddy just so happened to look like a doll that we won't name that has a whole franchise that's very evil and wicked and all that stuff. So, I had a My Buddy growing up because somebody from the family bought it for me. And then I seen that franchise out there and So I have this deal with dolls in general.
oh, they're creepy.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So the art is awesome.
But the dolls creep you out.
Oh yeah, because you know for a fact whether they're really talking or not, they're planning your death.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about dolls in general.
Oh yeah, dolls in general. I
Like
agree.
porcelain dolls,
Like-
epitome of creepy.
So-
Old timey dolls.
Old-time
My
porcelain.
grandma always had some up on top
Yeah.
of her dresser
So
in
my
her room.
mom-
Like a whole wall. I was just
Yeah.
like,
Nah.
Yeah.
My
No,
mom
no, no.
collected them. My mom collected dolls, like, and she had invested quite a bit of money in them. I'll never forget it though. We had a kid, it was one of my birthday parties, and there was a kid that was absolutely petrified of dolls. She had him in my closet crying because she was just holding it to him. He thought he was going to die. But I agree. I promise I can't have dolls because if I look at them, I think they're moving like at night. Like
That one just breathed.
100%. There's no way.
I remember being in third grade and somebody had a particular doll from that particular franchise you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scared me to death.
Yeah.
You know, I got
Yeah.
called that growing up as a kid because of my hair. They
Really?
called me that. That was
Well,
my.
if it makes you feel any better, I don't think you look like it.
Thank you.
You're
At
a
least
little
now.
taller.
At least now
A
you
little bit
don't.
taller. Now.
A little bit taller.
Back in the day, though.
See, I couldn't have any dolls because then my daughter would cry and my wife would tell me to give them back.
So
we didn't have dolls. We had G.I. Joes.
So-
G.I.
yeah,
Joe
yeah,
action
They're
figures.
action
Yeah.
figures.
So my grandma had a porcelain doll. Both my grandmas had porcelain dolls. One of them collected them, but the other one only had one that I can remember. And at a time when she lived in the trailer that she had lived in, when we would stay all night, we would sleep on her couch. You know, she had one of those wraparound couches or whatever. And because that wraparound couch doesn't fit directly in a corner, it leaves that open space. You can't just leave that void. You have to put something in it. So she put one of those columns in there, and then she put a doll on the stand. So if you slept on one end of the couch,
Oh, no.
that doll is literally staring at you all
No way.
night long.
No thanks.
Oh yeah.
No thanks.
All you can hear is, look at me, Ryan.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
The only old timey doll I've never thought was really creepy or weird. My grandma had one that the doll and the dress, like it had one of those like wide base dresses on, but the dress was a jewelry box, and you grab the doll and pull it up, and half the dress would come off, and it would just be a jewelry box inside. Right. So my grandma just kept like,
This is a Christian show, Jared.
and so she
Well,
would
we are
keep
talking
like,
about a certain franchise.
That's fair enough.
right. So she would keep
He said
like,
half the dress came off, and I was like, there went that. No, I'm just kidding.
wow. But she'd keep
What's
like a little
jewelry?
Gideon
Yeah.
Bible in there, and she kept like her hairpins and stuff in there. And I never thought it was creepy because it was like crocheted. The whole thing was like crocheted, and it looked really cool. Like you said, like the art of it was beautiful. It was a beautiful
Yeah.
doll, and she always kept it out by itself in like the living room on an end table. And I always wanted to like walk over and just like, I didn't know what crocheting was or crocheted stuff was.
Yeah.
Because all of our stuff was like normal clothing. Mom didn't have anything crocheted that I knew of.
Yeah.
Right. It was years later when we started getting like crocheted pot holders and crocheted table warmers, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, so
Bookmarks.
that was the first crochet thing I'd ever seen as a kid, like a real little baby. So I would always want to like grab it and pick it up and just be like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. And then, I didn't know what yarn was as a 3-year-old. So,
What do you
but I
guys?
remember that doll being there.
What do you think about the Amish dolls without any faces?
That's
Creepy or no?
terrifying. That's terrifying.
You never heard that?
I think Toy Story is real.
I don't know that I've ever.
So they
They're a lot bigger too. I seen them at Disney World.
so that what they do is their belief is if it has a face, they believe that some type of entity or something can live inside that doll.
I agree.
So they
I don't know that taking the
We're not-
face off is any better.
but they
it's worse.
their belief is when you take away the humanity from it, that there's nothing there for it.
No, now it can just look at you without
Yeah.
its eyes being.
Now you can just sit there and be
it's
like,
looking at you.
that doll's going to steal my face. That's all you
yeah,
can think of. Is like,
yeah. To me, that sounds. I haven't seen it, but to me, that sounds like that would be more terrifying.
Oh, yeah,
than
that
one
sounds
with a
creepy.
face. So you guys want to hear a funny story about myself? I will tell
No.
this story. It's hilarious. So
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I used to, when I didn't have my iPhone, which I cannot stand my iPhone, but when I didn't have my iPhone and I was on the real team of Samsung, I would download a whole bunch of different like sounds and songs and stuff like that. And I downloaded one that I was going to use to like get my wife and my kids, because I thought it would be funny. And it was literally, psst, hey, psst, hey. And that's all it was, like, getting your attention. So I changed it to that, and I've got this all worked up in my head, right? Like I'm gonna sit my phone there and I'm gonna call it, and it's gonna do that, and I'm gonna see my wife's reaction or my kids' reaction, because I know it's gonna scare them to death. I forget that I changed the ringtone to that. And I am in the house by myself. And I'm sitting there and somebody calls me and I my mind is focused. I think I'm working from home at the time. Like I said, I'm all by myself. My phone goes off and I hear, psst, hey. And I'm like instantly jump. And I'm like looking around going, who's here? Like, I'm not near my gun. I can't grab a kitchen knife fast enough. And I keep hearing,
somebody's talking to me.
Hey. And eventually it clicks in. Like, I'm such a moron. And I start laughing, and then I'm like, I'm changing this because I'm not going to let somebody catch me doing what I'm going to do.
Are you ready for my scary story?
Ooh.
Is it scary or is it like that?
No. This one's, I promise, it made me unplug Alexa. So that's the premise. I'm home alone at midnight. Mariah is staying with my mom. And I'm at home.
1, 2, or 3.
Exactly.
There's more than that.
Yeah.
And I'm playing games. I'm playing it on my PlayStation. And I'm home alone. And Mariah, before she had left, had lit her Sensies and everything. And all of a sudden, I hear something. I'm like, what is that? And all I hear, and so this is, my house is pitch black. This is like midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock, right? My house is lit only by Sensies. So you have like candle lit. And as I walk through my living room here, all I hear is London Bridge is falling down.
No.
Falling down.
I've seen this scene before.
And nobody's home. And I walk in and Alexa's little blue light is circling going, London Bridge is fall. I unplugged it from the wall and I went to my mom's in Mariah's house immediately. And I called my papaw, who was my pastor at the time. I'm like, you may need to come exercise my house. It was literally, it was out of a horror film. It was out of a film of the
I
franchise.
see some 5-year-old in the hallway with a knife and it was like,
That is one of the scariest experiences of my entire
That is
life.
hilarious.
dude, that's not funny. That is like terrifying.
Well, it's funny because it didn't happen to me.
Dude, I'm telling you
I
what.
promise.
So I will say this. Because I've woken up and seen my 5-year-old standing in the hallway.
Okay.
Right? If I saw him standing in the hallway with a knife, I'd be like, no, I'm not making you a sandwich. I'm not. Okay, if you're hungry, eat some
Okay,
crackers
so
or something.
is there not one of the most creepiest feelings as a parent when you're asleep and you just feel like something staring
The
at you?
entity near
You can
you.
feel it.
Not as a parent.
Yeah, but what?
Yeah,
but
somebody
what throws
else's
you off-
child come and look at you while you're waking up.
Well, yeah, I can see, but you can feel in your sleep. You can feel like something is just staring at you, and then when you open your eyes, you just have one of those kids, and they don't talk. They're just sitting there staring at you.
Can I tell you something? What's worse when they do talk?
No, listen. I sleep with a CPAP machine. I have woken up to Nolan with his fingers inside my mask, pulling it off, going, Daddy, I need water. I'm like, oh, what's happening?
Well, I don't know about that. We had our nephew came and stayed with us, and I never had kids stay in my house like that before.
Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing, that they would just come up and wake you up. I'm laying on my side, my face facing the outside of the bed, and all I can feel is on my face, and I'm like, oh, please don't be what I think you are. And I open up my eyes, and he is nose to nose with me like this. And he's like, I have to go potty. You're like, go potty yourself. You know, like,
So
you don't need me.
So this happened to me literally like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I'm in bed. Mariah's trying to, I've been working. I was exhausted, hadn't slept, and I was trying to go to sleep. So I was in bed before everybody else, which is very rare for me. And all of a sudden I felt that presence, right? I opened my eyes and it's just Emma. And she goes, "Hi, Daddy." "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to sleep." She's like, "Okay, bye." It just leaves. It was, but literally, I promise I've never seen where she was this close to my face. It was absolute insanity. I'm like, yeah, I don't like being woke up. The easiest time to scare me is when I'm sleeping. I jump no matter what. Mariah says I have night terrors all the time because I'll randomly just grab her to make sure she's like okay or not falling out of the bed, or like she's like, "You always are jumping up out of nowhere and running around," which is true for me.
Yeah.
I never used to be that way until
I got married.
No, it wasn't even
Then I got jumpy.
My wife was pregnant with the twins. She was almost at the point. No, it was with Brooklyn. She was almost at delivery time. I think we were maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from her due date with Brooklyn. And it is 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's wintertime. And I don't wake up to the sound. I wake up to Benjamin, whose room is in the back of the house that we were living at the time, screaming Bloody Mary, like just
Like a night terror?
like blood curdling scream.
Oh, those are terrible.
And like, so I jolt instantly. I go into, what's going on. I take off running. And as I get into the room, I hear this loud thud on my back screen porch window or the door. And so I don't even think about it because, I live in a sleepy little town. There's nothing wrong. The one thing that I can remember is that year we happened to have a whole lot of snow. And I remember the night before when we went to bed, I thought it was really cool. We had this icicle that went from top to bottom. It was off our gutter and it was connected all the way down to the porch. And I remember showing that to Benjamin, and I remember saying something to Becca, and I thought, well, tomorrow I'm going to have to break that apart because it'll break and it'll go through the glass of the porch. And so when all that happened and I caught I finally come to my senses because you don't ever want to wake up to a blood-curdling scream. But when I finally came to my senses and I heard that crash, I thought, man, I've got a mess. That thing just hit our window. My door's probably broken. So I don't even think about it. I turn the lights on. I flip the curtain open or the shade open, and there's a dude standing high as a kite. And he starts cussing me out. Like he's screaming at me, cussing me out, and wanting in the house. And so I'm like, I'm sitting there, and I want in. And I said, go away. I'm not going to let this guy in because he's going to kill me. I know that for a fact. I don't even know who it is. He's grabbing my porch furniture that we had out there on the back, and he's trying to throw it into the back door. And so, luckily, I thought about this after it all happened. At the time, I had a gun, but I forgot that I had it because it happened so fast. We just had the twins. The twins weren't, they were almost 2 years old. They were in their room. We had Benjamin. My wife is 3 weeks pregnant. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even think. All I thought was, I can't take this guy on. He's going to kill me. I don't have anything. I need to get my family protected and call 911. So we go through that whole process. Yeah. And by the time that I get my family locked up, we get on the phone 911. I hear the glass break. But luckily, he had been causing so much trouble in town that people's been calling 911 on him. And so they were tracking him, trying to get to where he was. Mm-hmm. And so when he took a step into our kitchen, the cops had already surrounded him. So they rushed him and they arrested him in the kitchen. It was all that stuff. I'm the only one in my family that ever seen his face. Benjamin used to call him our visitor because he was young. He was only 4. He didn't realize what was going on. From that time on, I'm completely different sleeping now. Like any little noise that I don't recognize, I'm up, I'm out of bed, I'm going. It completely changed. Ugh. But here's where, and I will say this, my wife one time, she could tell you for like a week, I couldn't sleep. And I would toss and turn. I'd hear a noise and I'd get up. Like I couldn't do nothing. I'd check the kids. I was doing that. I was in the house by myself after all that happened and the adrenaline went. My dad and my brother went to go pick up doors. I was cleaning up everything. I sent my wife and the kids to my mom and dad's house. When I sat in that empty house after all of that, I'm not man enough to admit it, man. I busted down crying because I lost all of that. But I was sitting there and I was going through that time where I had about 2 weeks where I couldn't sleep or anything of that nature. And I remember Becca putting her hand on me one night, and she knew I was struggling. I was sweating. My heart was racing. It was bad. And so she put her hand on me, and I heard her say just a little prayer. Wasn't nothing major. And eventually I went to sleep. And I haven't had that fear, but it has changed my sleep. But I was thinking about it, though, when I was praying about why would God let all that stuff happen. I started talking to my neighbors. All of my neighbors heard this guy. They heard him. He was, like I said, he was high as a kite. He was howling at the moon. He was doing all that stuff. The guy across the street from me, he was going to work. He was in his driveway. When he heard him, he went and grabbed his gun. Every one of them that heard it happen, they all told me that they had grabbed their gun and they were waiting for him to come in. And so as I was sitting here and I was thinking about it, I told Becca, I said, I hate that it happened to us and I hate that I went through it, but that was the hand of God for that young man's life.
Mercy.
Because he went in the only house who didn't have a gun ready to take his life. Now, I've got him now, but I thought about that a lot. Like that man, he could have woken up in eternity lost. And I think it was just the hand of God that shielded him, but it changed me. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. I was the same way after Connor was born. I didn't have anybody break into my house, but if I hear anything at all, I'm up. And it's almost, I don't know, it's got to be like a father, like a father type thing where you want to protect your family so much. But it was like, I can't hear. If I feel like something's out of place, I'm looking. And Mariah gets mad at me because I'm one of the ones that'll peek my head out the window and out the door. Like, is there somebody in my yard? Is there something going on? The other night, like, we have a Ring doorbell and a Ring camera in our backyard, and it said my backyard, my Ring camera went offline. But right before that, it said there was motion. And I'm like, what's going on? So I went and grabbed my protection and was like, and I opened my back door, which obviously you can't do that in the state of Ohio. They have to come into your house before you can do anything. But it's such a weird sensation, that fear, but that like ready to go at the same time. And I've been there, like, where I thought something, like, one of the biggest fears I ever had in my life was Connor had fallen asleep on my recliner, but he had slept. We got him to sleep in his bed, but then he went to his recliner. And I had one of those moments where I woke up and I'm like, I'm going to go check on everybody. I don't know why, but I went in Connor's room and he wasn't there, and he wasn't in my room. And then it was pitch black in my living room, and I was looking, and I'm like, where's my son? Where's my son? Where's my son? That fear, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. But he had covered up so much so, like, I have a brown recliner. He has brown hair. He was laying in the recliner, so covered up, and his head was back. His head blended in with the color of the recliner. But I held him like he was asleep, like nothing was wrong. He was just asleep. But I held him like, I'm never letting this kid go ever again, because I thought I lost him.
Yeah.
It's such a weird fear. It's such a weird feeling. But ever since I had Connor, I am the world's lightest sleeper. Anything wakes me up and I'm up and I'm ready to go.
I've never had anybody that kind of fear in my house. But I had this one time, me and Lissa went on a date night and went to Chili's and some other places. Well, we ended up going to Five Below, and we were walking around the store. And this guy come around, and man, I'll tell you what, I just had this icky feeling about this dude. And I told Lissa, I said, get behind me. And I was like, don't you leave me. Oh, well. I was like, no. I was like, you just stay behind me, and we're leaving right now. She was like, okay. Well, we went and got some dinner, and we went to a Walmart probably half a mile down the road. We pull into the Walmart, and there's 6 cops, and they have that guy in handcuffs sitting out in front of the parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God that he's given us, in a way, I mean, won't say it's spiritual discernment, but in a way, he gives us an idea of what's safe and what's not safe. And I'll tell you, if you ever get that feeling, you better listen to it.
Yeah.
Like,
pay attention to it for
So-
sure.
Yeah.
When I was still on night shift, I never told Elena this. Mostly because I felt like I don't need to tell everything that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to propagate fear.
Yeah.
But, I get up at 11:30 at night and I get home at midnight, half an hour drive or so to get home. And you never know what's going on in
Right.
town, right? And we live in town. But there's a lot of strange people who walk up and down the side of the road who, for lack of a better word, are very not moral people.
Night walkers.
Night walkers, yeah. And there was a guy walking in circles in my front lawn by my front door, pulling his hair, like stretching his shirt off and just going in circles, muttering to himself.
Mm.
I parked. I don't have a concealed carry, nothing. I walked right out in the front yard. I was like, hey, you all right? Can I do something for you? And he was just like, no, and just walked off, right? Earlier this year, some lady came running up on my front porch, screaming at her husband to not hurt her anymore, to leave her alone. And there was a very red in the face, irate man stomping down the walkway towards my house. And Elena's like, don't do anything. I'm like, no, I felt inside, if I don't, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just pulled the door open, stepped right out onto the porch. I was like, can I help you, sir? And he just walked right past the house.
Yeah.
Didn't stop. He was just like, no. He just kept going. And she just broke down into tears. I was like, do you need me to call the cops for you? And she goes, no, I'll be fine. She went back walking off opposite direction of him. And I'm just like, but like from that point on, I'm like, I already was paranoid about locking the doors,
Yeah.
but I went back and double checked the doors
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
night, and because you never know what might happen or who might try to, because years ago when we just had Liam, I got a call at work from Elena and she's like, babe, you might need to come home. Some drunk or drug addict or somebody just started walking up the driveway at us when we were there by the back door, saying, this is my house. What are you doing here? I'm going to come get you.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
no
I was
thanks.
like, okay, I'm going to call Mark, our next door neighbor who has a little car shop, whatever. Him and the guy who works with them are, pretty tough guys. So I was like, I'm going to have them keep an eye out. And apparently, when I called, Mark said, I had a feeling that something was happening. So I asked Nick, the guy who works for me, to go stand by your driveway.
Hmm.
And that dude ended up leaving because Nick walked out and stood next to our driveway for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, thanks, Mark. I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
I
really nice.
had a weird occurrence one time. Me and Lissa, I think we were out visiting Alex Gross's church one night, Brother Alex Gross's, and I had this notification come up, and it said motion at your driveway, and I was like, "Well, this ain't good." I mean, it's probably 11, 12 o'clock at night. So I open it up, and there's this black mass walking from one side to the other side
Remember this.
of the driveway, and I'm like, what in the world is this? Thing's huge. I'm like, it's on four legs, it's walking around. I'm like, is this a bear? Is there a bear in my backyard? And I was like, there's no bears in Ohio. Well, then I got to look and I was like, apparently there have been a few bear
there's-
sightings
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, please God, don't let that thing be there when we get home. Like, it's an hour and a half drive back. I'm like, I know you can take care of this for me, Lord. And I come home, I don't see nothing, dude. I come out, I pulled out my Hellcat, and I put my laser on. I was looking all over the place with my flashlight and this gun. I didn't see nothing. And then all I hear is, babe. And I'm like, what? I turn around, dude. There is this massive Irish wolfhound sitting on the side of the hill by our house, the hill that comes up to the house.
Yeah.
And I turn and I'm like, don't move. Because I'm like, this dog looks.
Those things are huge.
He's huge, man.
Yeah.
He's dirty. He's been out for a long time, so I didn't know if he was just hungry or what was going on. And he had like these. I thought he was out for months. But he had these dreadlocks down the side of his body, and I was like, "Don't move." And then as sure as I did that, That dog ran up, gave my wife a kiss, and laid on its back. And I was like, we got to keep this thing, babe. We got to keep this dog. I went from terrified to, I love this dog, you know, like just like that. But dude, I'll tell you, I was so scared. I was like, dude, there's a bear in my backyard.
Yeah. Come
to find out, though, we held him in, I think it was like the day before Memorial Day or Labor Day one. I always get the two of those mixed up. But, and I held him in my basement and called the sheriff the next morning. And they came and got him. And turns out that he was only gone for like 2 or 3 days, and that his owners made him have dreadlocks. I was like, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen on a dog in my life. Like, this dog looks like it lives in a barn. Like,
Rastafarian dog.
Yeah.
It's you know, we live in a time, especially nowadays, we live in a time where you have to be very on guard. You know, we have to be even the Bible tells us when we're battling spiritual warfare to be sober, be vigilant. You know, that means we have to be watchful, be aware of your surroundings, everything around, because you have the enemy that's coming as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. That's scriptural, but we also have to take that into the account of this life. And there are things that happen to good people. We understand that. I mean, it's life. You know, obviously everybody throws in, well, God, why did God allow this or that to happen? It's not God. God didn't cause it. God didn't allow it. It's man's decision, man's choices. It's what's brought us to the day that we're at today. But at the same time, though, as a child of God, I have to learn that, you know, through those circumstances or beyond, I've got to have trust and faith in him. Yeah. You know, the circumstance with that gentleman that broke into our house could have been completely different, you know. And I thank the Lord that it wasn't, but it could have been completely different. I had a situation when we went to Washington, D.C. I had a situation where I knew that my life was in danger.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of ladies that were part of the group that I was with, and one of the kids that went on the field trip, they were going, it was some abductors. I knew it was because I watched the guy follow us, and I watched him signaling to a partner that was closing in behind us, and I knew right in an instant, I knew that we were in trouble. And he followed us up one street as we went, and that guy started closing up behind us. And he would stop when we'd stop, and then he'd go when we'd go, and all that stuff. And they were trying to converge on this point. And the first thing that I could think of, well, first off, is I told the ladies that was with us, as I was the only guy, I said, listen, if they come, you guys take off, because we weren't far from the hotel. I'll lay down my life, whatever we got to do. Like, they're going to have to kill me to get to you.
Yeah.
But instantly after that, I was saying, Lord, if this is the day, please make sure that I'm okay. You know, like, but I did.
Check every part of me, Lord.
It really got to the point where I was like, okay, Lord, I'm firmly in your hand. Whatever happens, I've got full faith and trust in you. You can work the situation out. And it just so happened that, as they were converging in, we were able to move in a way that got us to the hotel door, and they had to disperse. But I watched them as they came to the corner, and they had a conversation, and then they went doing. I know for a fact something was going to happen, you know, but my faith and my trust is in the Lord. Whether something good happens, whether something bad happens, I realize life is life.
Yeah,
I'm so very thankful that I can have that faith and trust and know that regardless, I'm in his hands.
I will say this. When I was in India, the pastor there, Brother Malhar, who we went to minister with, pulled me aside on like the second day. We had to walk through a truck stop to get to a broken down hole in a concrete wall to get to where the church was at in a back alley. And it was a sketchy place, and there was really rough truckers, Indian truckers, who were just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that if women walk through there by themselves, they're in danger because there's no restriction. No cop will help them. There's no government that will help them. They're on their own.
Right.
So they have to go with their men. He's like, I want you to know they don't fear us. They'll kill us and take the women because they're European.
Mm-hmm.
Or because they're Western. They're white. And he said, but you are so big that as long as you don't show fear, they will hesitate. They won't do anything. So I need you to walk behind us and just pray and have no fear.
Mm.
And then the night, we were there for 2 weeks. It was the second Wednesday of our stay. We arrived on a Sunday. We left on a Sunday. It was the second Wednesday we were there. We were having service, and the Muslim community called for a jihad. They called for a religious war. And we heard that later on that a couple towns over, they dragged a pastor out and beat him nearly to death in the street. And the military won't help, police won't help, right? And they made us sit down in the group there, and all the native church people stood up around us. But I remember Brother Malhar leaning into me with Brother Pullman and whispered to me and said, if they try to get in, because they had bars on the doors, that if they try to get in, they may hesitate because of your size. Are you willing to go to the door if they try to get in? I like, listen,
Terrifying.
Yeah, I'm like, this is like, I know we were warned that there's persecution in India for Christians.
Yeah.
Like, I was warned, but I was young, and I was like, there's no way any of this is going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen to me.
It's not going to happen to us. This is, whatever. But in that moment, it's like, I felt that prick in my heart saying, how far are you willing to go
Yeah.
for this ministry right now? And I just said, yes, I'll go to the door.
Right.
Just tell me when. Give me the signal. I'll go to the door. I'll do it. I won't, intentionally hurt anybody, but I'll
stand my ground.
I'll stand my ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to back down from them.
Right.
I'll
guard your
I'll
P
get in
badge.
their face.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that they know that if they want to get to people behind me, they're going to have to come through me, and I'm going to be a lot harder of an obstacle than they may be willing to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
But we were shown videos of people being beaten, stripped, burned in the streets. And I think when you go into life with a family and the ministry, you have to be willing to accept the danger that comes with it, as life is inherently difficult and dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking to the men who listen to the podcast specifically here, it's our duty to stand our ground for the faith, for our family, for ourselves.
Yeah.
We can't back down at every little thing and I say little thing, but anything that comes our way. We have to stand strong. We have to stand firm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if we don't, who will?
Well, there's one thing about turning the other cheek. That's kind of more of a not a life-threatening matter when it's talking about that, right? It's more of somebody making fun of you or disagreeing with something that you said. You don't want to get mad and angry, but I believe we have all the grounds that we need to stand and defend what we have.
Yeah.
I believe that's part of the wisdom that God gives us, that we're able to do that, or else our churches wouldn't be toting pistols all the entire time.
Well, I'm under the firm belief that, we had that individual at the church the other day that got pretty upset with me because I just wouldn't let them speak whenever they wanted to. And he stood up, hollered something over top of me on a Sunday morning and all that stuff. And to be honest with you, we didn't really know what was going to happen at that point. Yeah. I'm one of those ones that you want to say something to me, you want to come at me, you want to do something like that. I'm not going to, it's not going to be something where you're going to automatically get this fight or flight mentality. But if you start going after one of mine, then my whole perspective changes. Like if you're going to say something about me, then so be it. Okay, say whatever you want to say. I'm a duck. I can let the water roll off my back. It doesn't bother me none. I'll pray for you. I'll minister to you. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But if I know that they're going after one of my parishioners, or if I know that they're going after one of my family members or something like that, I feel like my mentality changes.
Yeah. Well, I've heard, I think attacks on churches in particularly are a little bit different than like personal attacks at home, because there's people who go and attack churches are going for a mission. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times it is, the motive is a spiritual motive, right? Yeah. It's not necessarily just because they feel like hurting people. They're wanting to go and attack Christians in particular. I've had times where, I always carry a piece with me when I'm at church. I always try to protect myself. But there's got to be a time where when stuff like that happens, and I heard from when we were in Guatemala, they were telling us a story about a man that came in. He was a major drug dealer in the area. And he came in to take them out because he was saving up their clientele. That church was cleaning them up, and they weren't losing all this business. Well, that one man came in, and he was trying to stir up strife and get them mad, and intentionally he was going to hurt some people.
Yeah.
And they said that the minister there said the authority of the Holy Ghost hit him while he was preaching. He came and touched him on the shoulder and said, "Sit down." And he said he sat there and he fell asleep on that church pew until the end of service. Everybody prayed. Everything went good. And when they left, something happened, and he told him to wake up, and he came back, woke right back up, and then they could have a sit-down conversation because that spirit had to obey.
Yeah.
The Lord. They had to obey that. So I think when we are talking about protecting our churches and stuff like that, yes, there needs to be a mindset of us to stand our ground, to be able to defend what is ours and the gospel that's been given to us. But also there's also going to be that time where if you're not a prayerful person, you don't need to be carrying around that pistol either.
Our churches need to be prayerful.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, we needed it before, but we need to have the Holy Ghost, power of the Holy Ghost. And we won't get into all the, the doctrinal and stuff to that nature, but that's the reality where we're at. We need to have the power of God, and we need to be prayerful for sure.
And wisdom, wisdom.
Well, I think the big thing there is it's beyond wisdom, and you get into the discernment.
Yeah. For sure.
Of the matter, and you get into that depth. Obviously, wisdom comes along with that, but how do you guys enjoy being back today?
It's pretty good.
I've missed you guys.
Yeah, we missed you too.
It's been a while.
It's been some time, yeah.
Feels like it's been a while. At least 4 episodes ago.
Has it been?
It's probably been more than that.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think maybe
it's been at least a month.
I think it's
which
4.
would be 4 weeks.
I think it's been 4.
Yeah, I think it's definitely
because we missed a week because of all the emergency stuff.
Brother Jared's been more.
Yeah, that's been more for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great.
And how did you guys feel about being camera? I kind of know we didn't address it.
I didn't mind it. I don't think it was that bad, really. If I didn't have to fight this fly going around.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, this fly is driving me crazy.
Some of these Knox guys are not from us hitting it. It's the fly landing on our microphone.
Yeah.
I don't know who decided that a fly was a good mascot for this episode, but it's poor choice.
I've almost hit Brother Ryan like 5 times because it lands right on his arm, and I want to hit it.
You want to smack him so hard
bad, but
pulpit to the few. Pulpit to the few.
Pulpit to the few.
Actually, that's why I haven't been here. I was cut.
Pulpit to the pew. The fly on the wall. That's what it's like. People that come in and listen to us just want to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
So dumb.
There you go. I think it's time to end it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in with us and hanging out for a while. Hopefully you did enjoy this episode. It's been nice to have a full crew here today. And if you enjoyed it, leave us a like, leave us a comment, send us an email at pulpittothepew@gmail.com, or send us a text. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Peace out.
See ya.
See ya.